learning that. So we'll close up Animoog. It served its purpose, and just like to keep things clean if I can, because in a moment we're really going to play around with a few things at once, and hopefully it all works out for you, because I'm not going to film this again, that's for sure. Alright, so here we go. I don't need that right now. There we go. And just going to come into an old session that I set up, and it's simply just a main track and a drum track. So we got to make sure that our MIDI's set up in the settings. Just means that we need to make sure QuNeo can speak to input right now, because that's the main point of this demo, is how to control. So it's set up. The other stuff is pretty much irrelevant at this point, and we'll come back out. Now, I already have a Beatmaker preset set up so that we don't have to go through that whole process again, and I'm just going to get into the preset mode and go over to preset number 4, and now my Beatmaker preset is locked in, but we can also change some things too on the fly. So let's go into here, and again we have our pads. Now beautifully it is velocity sensitive. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a crush on here. Let's get rid of that crush for right now so that you can kind of hear things a little clearer. Alright, perfect. Now, you get the picture. Okay, now let's say we wanted to MIDI learn, right? We already have our MIDI set up, but in each track we have another MIDI button, and just click on that, and it's going to bring up all the parameters of the track we control: volume, pads, all sorts of stuff like that. And for demonstration purpose, so you can just see the visual, let's go back and re-add in that bit crusher. And let's go back into MIDI, and you'll see that underneath where pads was, bit crusher now comes in. I'll click on that, and I can control 3 aspects of bit crusher. Right now, the bypass, the resolution, and the frequency. And right now the resolution is set to MIDI channel 13. So let's click on that and watch what happens up above. Learn and the ability to change the MIDI channel number comes up. So we're going to work specifically with learn. Let's click on learn, and let's go back to QuNeo, and we'll go into coma mode. And what do you want to use? Let's go up here, and we'll use these to control it right now. So basically what's going to happen is, as I move my finger, it's going to send a location note over to here. So watch this change as I start to touch back over with my left hand, and see how it shifted down to 12 from 13. I know that's not a huge difference. It might have been hard to see there, but it did shift. And we'll do the same thing, but with the frequency on the slider below. So we'll get on the frequency. It's still on MIDI learn, and as I slide my finger, it's shifted. I guess I already had those set up to that. Here, I'll do it with a different number so you can see it kind of changed there. It went to 14. Let's go back to 13. Perfect. Okay, so I have that set up, and now if I were to go into the bit crusher, not only is it on, if I were to play, right? Right, so you kind of get the idea. But if I were to go like this and move my finger as so, I'm giving location value just the same as I would pressure value, between 1 and 127. And as I move that, what's happening over here? Well, why, it's corresponding, of course. So you can kind of see the possibilities. Beatmaker, obviously, you have everything you can touch there. With something like Animoog, again, you can do so much more than even I just showed you. You can get into, for example, if you look at all of the red boxes, you can go any of the buses, the hold buttons. You can get into wild, cool stuff like your envelopes, your LFOs, and even awesomer, your XY coordinates, right? So the sky's pretty much the limit. And the last thing I'm going to do is just a little demo of some stuff working together through one controller, just to hopefully inspire you again. It's probably not going to be the greatest, but it'll give you some ideas as to what you can do, and that's the whole point. So let's just shut this mapping mode down. I'm going to leave Animoog on for right now. I'm also going to just switch it into a preset that we'll use, and let's just close that down and bring up Audiobus for a second. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle things around. Just give me 2 seconds so that you can kind of see what's going on. It's not going to be the greatest. This is a ghetto setup. I'm holding an iPod trying to film something for you, but I promise it will work. You will get the gist of it. So let's get in here. I'm just going to do a little jimmy rig. Bear with me. And at the very least, you'll be able to generally see what's going on here. So I'm going to open up Loopy HD. I'm going to change my preset while I'm at it here too. And apparently I discovered a problem for them last time I was on there, which is why I kind of commented that I'm not sure. Hopefully this all goes according to semi-plan. As much plan as just knowing which apps you're going to use becomes as far as a plan is concerned. And let's also add Animoog and MoDrum. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, I'm just going to change the angle a little bit there. I think you can see better now. Okay, so we have MoDrum. We're just going to launch that. And I've already had these kind of preset up for you so that I don't have to spend a lot of time doing that. But again, it didn't take very long, did it, for me just to adjust a couple of things. So now that we have Loopy set up, let's play around a little bit. So we're going to come into Loopy now, and from Loopy, for example, I have some parameters set up so that I can literally kind of control what's going on. I can select a track, I can move through it to right, I can move through from the left, I can clear tracks, I can start recording. So let's just mess around here and just kind of show you some things that hopefully will inspire you to do your own awesomeness. Alright, cool. So here we go. That ain't gonna work. So you can kind of see, guys, that there are some limitations, and I definitely pushed it to them there, but the possibilities are endless. And so while that was definitely not the coolest ending, I think you still got the picture.